finance. I mean, how can anyone make a career in providing advice and consulting to clients? Uh, so let's get it started now. Thank you so much for joining once again. Uh, so even before I begin with what kind of a career either someone can join or someone can switch. Why should someone pursue a career in personal finance? Just a quick refresher upon what is the basic undercurrent. See, understand the point, friends, everybody here, that we should always look for a career or for our dream career, if I would like to say it, for the long term in a sector which is actually growing at the moment, and it has a long term story intact, right? So that long term story, if it's not intact, then it's not going to happen. So even before I go to the long term story, just let's look at, and when we are talking about personal finance, it's more of in related to the investments which people are supposed to make, right? How can you guide people to make investments to generate, to become financially independent, to basically uh, generate wealth, so be better at what position they are right now to become better than that, right, over the number of years and whatever the case is. So uh, and why we are looking at this, why would people be driven towards this, that only when they generate some wealth, right, they are able to earn better. India is today in a position where people are earning very, very well, right? We've seen how the job prospects in India are, the multiple career opportunities, all those things are there. But again, it starts with the basic point: is India right now doing good? Yes, India is doing very, very well. We are right now the fifth largest economy. We are aiming to become the third largest by 2030, 32, whatever the case is. We are going to displace Japan and Germany by that time. And the recent GDP growth rate figures of 8+% is actually it's a kind of a tailwind that is being provided, that we are expecting around 7 odd kind of a average growth rate of GDP, but if it comes like 8% kind of thing, then nothing like it. And similarly, if you see, this translates into everybody in the world today wants to do business with India. And everybody in the world today wants to make investments in India, because India is, it's both sides now. It's like tomorrow's China and US. Why? Because you have ample investment opportunities for business, and you have ample business opportunities for corporates. So it's like corporates get business, people who earn well, we get business over there as finance people, right? So forex reserves, what does it really mean? We are right now, I think, easily a month on month we are plus 600 plus $1 billion on an average, which a very, very, very kind of balanced position that we have, unlike what's happening in the other with our neighbors or whatever the case is. So because a lot of capital is infused in India. And just wanted to add one point that, at times we feel, we read in newspapers that this kind of capital is going to be, hot money. It's the FII money which is coming in. Tomorrow the markets start falling or they get better returns in the US or whichever country, home country they're coming from, they're going to really take their money back. But, the thing is transitioning now. You must have read about, if not, please read about it, that the Indian government securities are about to, and they have started, the global indices have started putting the Indian government securities in those indexes. So when that happens, that really means that investors have to put money in the Indian government securities, G-Secs, right? And this is not a hot money. This is a very, very long-term money which comes in, because it's pension money. It is for the long haul, and this is basically for so that is going to give much more strength to our domestic markets as well as our economy as well, because a lot of capital is supposed to come in. 24, 25, 26 looks very good from that angle. So, and this is reflective when it comes to the Indian mutual fund industry. See, mutual fund sahi hai. Absolutely, if you look at it, we were somewhere around 6 lakh crore in 2012 as far as the asset under management is concerned. When I say asset under management, is basically how much money the mutual fund industry is managing. And right now we are plus 57 lakh crores at the moment. It was April, I think it is more than 58 lakh crores right now. And it's expected to become close to, they say 90, I expect it will be around plus 100 lakh crores by 2030. So just see the kind of jump. It is not in percentages. It is, in X's, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 5 times, whatever the case is. And similarly, when, as I mentioned, good cash flows, good salaries coming in, naturally the tax liabilities will be higher. Individuals will be paying higher income taxes. So individuals who declared incomes more than 1 crore was almost the highest, 1.7 lakh people who declared it in FY 22-23, and that is itself a record. So we will see on this slide, we are just showing that there's an economic boom. The undercurrent is very, very strong at the moment. And that is extremely, extremely positive for all the sectors, especially the banking, finance, insurance sector. Now, why only look at the current data? I'm talking here, friends, as I mentioned to you, let's look at from a point of view for a career. Career means that I am here for a long haul. I am looking at the intactness of the India story. It's not that, okay, fine, these numbers look good today, but what after 5 years, what after 10 years, what after 20 years? We are talking here for, let's assume the next 40, 50 years is what I'm talking about in this slide. And I'm trying to give you the intactness of the story, growth story, overall India, and as far as the BFSI industry is also concerned. See, benefit from the demographic dividend, young population, growing population, aggressive population to get upskill, to get better jobs, and that is positive for the economy. Strong economic growth. Yes, we've seen intact macroeconomic inflation. Of course, we've been able to, somehow been able to control inflation, but it is still a challenge. That's why I've written that, yes, it is still a challenge over there. Increasing awareness. There is more awareness on financial activities, financial instruments in the market these days. People are aware, influx of YouTube and social media that is there. Growing requirement. Why? Because if people earn more, yes, they will require more investments, more strategies, more ways in which they can really convert it to wealth and financial independence. And diverse client base. Client base today for people who are into advisory consulting is not only people who are salaried. It's always, you even have people from different channels, different sectors, different, from social media also earning very, very well these days. Young people, but they also need financial advice to how to really manage the money that they're getting, which is very hot at the moment. Depth in financial markets. See, friends, there was a time I remember when I had joined my first organization after completing my MBA. So there was a time when we used to be feeling that, Indian market doesn't have the depth. We used to read about a lot of investment products which were from globally, which were not there in India, and the markets have not taken up that much. So, but now today we see any kind of an investment product which is available globally is available in India. India is at the topmost when it comes to, and acceptability also. Indians are not someone who are not accepting new investment strategies, theories, concepts, investment products also. So depth is there, and of course the demand is also there. And technology innovation, we are the foremost. You've seen the way in which, we've easily safely moved to T+1 settlement in stock exchanges, which is something, at times it's a dream. It used to be a dream at one time. Can it really happen? I mean, it takes 4 days, 5 days from T+5, T+3, T+2, and now finally T+1 and even T+0. So these are all technological innovations, and India has always been foremost thanks to our very strong IT industry that has really created this value for India globally. Now, why the Certified Financial Planning Program? Please understand the point that, friends, the CFP program is the gold standard certification when it comes to personal finance. When I say personal finance, friends, the definition of it is that you are focusing and you are providing advice to individuals to assess their to current financial position. What is their net worth? Assets minus liabilities, right? Do they really have anything, or is it all debt funded? There's a person who's having a very big BMW, but he's paying EMIs on it. Not a good strategy. Either he should be able to, he's earning that much. If not, then I think it's not a fair. So we have to look at the personal financial situation. So that is, and suggest them to really, make wealth and become financially independent. So there's gold standard certification when it comes to that. And this certification is an American certification, friends, offered by the Financial Planning Standard Board, USA. After a person clears his CFP, similar to a CA, he can use the suffix, the certification mark after his name, the board allows it. And and the industry and the people, the customers, if and once you tell them, then they become aware of the fact that yes, this is a candidate, or this is a CFP holder, certification holder, who has gone through the strict education, strict practice requirements, ethical requirements, and standard requirements which have to be followed, and for which the person has been trained. So the value is itself reflective over there. Then top choice for investment advisory services across the BFSI, as I mentioned to you, right? So because the skill as well as the the kind of depth that is brought is non-comparable, if you ask me today. So financial planning investments are the two industries in the BFSI itself, in the sector, which is the fastest growth. All in all, friend, what this slide of mine gives a message that, today, friends, please understand the point. One needs to upskill himself. And you can look at a career when it comes to, no, I want to get into that client facing kind of an advisory kind of a profile, which is the best certification which is available globally. It is the Certified Financial Planner certification. And two things that you can benefit out of it when I did my course was, first is that you get a international certification, and second is you become, firstly, it starts from you become your own better money manager. Before even advising clients or becoming better at that, if I'm someone, I might be whichever kind of education I might be coming in, but there we make a lot of mistakes, right? And over the journey, you yourself are able to improve your portfolios, redesign your re-strategize your portfolios, asset allocation, structuring, everything becomes different because so you become your own money manager. You are becoming better in your own eyes. Then only you will be able to guide others better, right? So one of the major things is it's a very practically oriented course. It is not theory at all. It's all practical aspects. Now, comparing, though, as I was saying, it's a gold standard certification. Why I was saying it, I have reasons behind it, my friends. Today, the financial advisors, if you call them, friends, are going to be, one is a CFP, the other is an RIA, third is a mutual fund distributor. When people go to them, right? Then is the bank RM. Whenever you go to a bank, there's a relationship manager. With your account you have been given, and there's a chartered accountant. So out of them, if you look at my screen today, who is the one who ticks all boxes? It is the certified financial planner, because he has a specialist certification on personal finance. Then MFD does not have it. A bank RM might have an MBA, but that MBA is a finance MBA. It is focused more on the corporate side. This is personal finance. Holistic financial planning, who can provide? It is the CFP and the RIA. But CFP is trained. RIA might not be trained. Multiple products. It's not a single product advisory like a mutual fund or an insurance agent, right? Across strategies, across asset classes, we can certainly design portfolios curated as per the client's requirement. Rigorous standards, yes, the FPSP board monitors it. They've anyone who clears, he's gone through that process. Plus, the professionalism and ethics do continue. There's a board who's overseeing them. Disclosures, client first, all those antics are already there, and provide behavioral coaching. I'll come to a little bit on the behavioral coaching part also in the next slide. So ticks all boxes. And please, friends, understand one thing. See, I'm sure each of you does realize the fact that we are good till the day we create value. So if I was good at creating value till yesterday, so I was good till yesterday, not today if I'm not creating value. So the certified financial planning certification, friends, if I have tested it across when it comes to the clients, when it comes to firms, when it comes to regulator, which is SEBI, it is creating value at every point. And till the and because it is creating value at every every effort, every point of view across the domain of the BFSI, that's why it is a gold standard certification and a very well sought after certification. Because when it comes to people, when it comes to clients see that this gentleman is the one who's equipped with the right skill sets. He is the specialist in guiding me towards success. He is the one who is trained, on behavioral finance, on behavioral coaching, in terms of strategies when it comes to hard skills, soft skills, everything. When it comes to, and client first is definitely the thing that he's going to follow. He will always look at my benefit, not his benefit. His benefit will only be if I become better at what I mean in terms of my finances, my wealth, and my financial freedom. When it comes to firms know very, very well that we've hired a candidate who is definitely going to create value for client. and the clients, he'll be well sought after with the client. So you're creating value over there. And the second aspect, this is a gentleman who does not need to be told to manage compliances. He knows it in and out that yes, it's a the compliances have to be managed. There is regulatory requirements which have to be followed, because he knows it in and out. We don't have to do a debate with the CFP as to why this record has to be maintained. And apart from that, that they know it very, very well that when you hired one, he's going to improve the productivity. He's going to be more efficient clients. He's going to be more sought after. For regulators, of course, as I mentioned, regulators always want people who are working in BFSI to be complying to all the requirements. CFP, you don't even have to ask them. It is done there and then. So a CFP is creating value across the value points in the BFSI industry. Coming to the next slide, friends, career opportunities. If someone wants to look at, one can open an investment consultancy. He can get into specific domains, which is estate planning, succession planning, tax planning, retirement planning is a big business, friends. I know people who have made their firms only focused on retirement planning. They do nothing else of it. Then insurances. You can become insurance. You can open a multi advisory firm which is into all the kind of things. Then financial products, tax planning, as I mentioned, wealth management, private banking. You can, and when I say wealth management, private banking, I'm specifically focusing on banks over here, where every bank these days has wealth management division, private banking division, portfolio PMS services. You can get into any one of them. CFPs are sought over, and financial advisory services, of course, I don't have to say that. Now, coming to this certification program, though I gave you a little sense of things over here, I would like to definitely mention that this program, friends, is recognized in 27 territories of the world. And when I say it is recognized in 27 territories, it means all the major world economies, you have a CFP presence over there. Unique 4-in-1 certification program, friends, it is a USP. What is the USP over here? The USP is that this you don't have to wait till the final certification. The board, let's assume, I'll just give you a little sense over here. In the regular pathway, we have 4 levels. So as someone clears, let's say someone who joins and he clears his level 1 in 3 months. So after clearing level 1, he will be given a certificate by the board, which is known as the investment planning specialist certification. So, you can always, I did it myself, you can always start speaking to your friends, to your colleagues in office that, yes, I've started, I'm pursuing this course, and this is the first certification which the board has offered me, which is investment planning specialist. So the growth starts from there itself. Ideal for students. It actually addresses it is addressing multiple kind of people and kind of profiles. For students who are right now, let's say in their graduation, why not get this course done? Once you've done with this certification, you are the right choice to get a very strong entry when it comes to the BFSI industry, the banks, financial institutions, insurance companies, mutual funds, PMS, wealth management, private banking, anything that you look at, these are CFPs are much sought after. Then independent financial advisors, friends, a good way of upskilling yourself to get to the gold standard of personal finance. Bankers, again, upskilling. Insurance agents, to broaden the horizon of your working. Only one domain these days is not. You should always have a boutique of products and solutions with you. As I mentioned, it is personal finance focus, which is there. Term to complete, friends, it is 6 to 12 months. How does it happen in 6 months also, which is a short way of completing this course? I'll discuss in a couple of minutes. But typically for a regular pathway guy, it usually takes around 8 to 10 to 12 months probably to finish on an average time. Study to complete, start to end, shut. The next slide, friends, is what is the eligibility. Now, the board says we just want anyone who's cleared he's completed his 10 plus 2, 18 years plus he has to be, and there is no restriction on the streams or percentages. They say we are not restricting. Let anybody come from a finance background, from a commerce background, from an arts background, from a science background. That's okay with us. They are going to do the testing in the journey over here. It's okay for them. But for getting the CFP certification mark, friends, the requirement is the person should be a minimum graduate. So someone, as I mentioned, ideal ways, you are in your pursuing a graduation right now. For students, you can start pursuing CFP along with it. Your graduation over, CFP is over, you will get the certificate. There's one requirement over there, friends, to get the certification. Just to mention it over here, there's a requirement of 3 years of experience in the BFSI, banking, financial services, and insurance industry. But not to worry, the alternative to that is 1 year of supervised articleship under a practicing CFP. So we do help our candidates get that supervised articleship, right? So that they get, the students, especially without experienced people, do get the certification marks. Now, coming to the program curriculum. Now, friends, they've designed it very beautifully, the Financial Planning Standard Board, because there's a mix of hard skills and soft skills. Now, please understand it, approach it from this point, friends, that it's a professional course, it's a professional certification course, if I would put it that way, and it is a practical oriented course. It is not a course that you will only do theory, and it might be of use in your organization, might not be. Here I'm saying it is going to be used 100%, whatever you're going to learn over this journey in the 4 levels in the regular pathway. So when it comes to level 1, friends, we have, which is known as the investment planning specialist, we have 3 modules over there. Personal financial management is basically, friends, to understand, assess the financial position of a client, and then it also includes time value of money. How can we really, yes, mathematically we can define what is the goal requirement of a person, and we can design strategies for that. Second is investment planning, asset management, friends. You will be taught about all the major asset classes: equities, fixed income, real estate, gold, alternatives, right? And along with it, the investment products within it. How do you do asset allocations? How do you do balancing, rebalancing? What is behavioral finance? How do you really coach your clients not to make those psychological mistakes we make when we do investments? And regulatory environment and legal compliances, I was mentioning to you, there is a specific module in the curriculum, so that the CFP pass outs are very well aware, because BFSI is a regulated industry by SEBI and RBI. Coming to level 2, friends, which is retirement and tax planning specialist, we have 2 very strong modules over here. First is retirement planning. Retirement, friends, is the biggest goal for any person. It is the most common goal, because everybody needs to get retired and they need a cash flow that is coming in and enjoying their life. So for that, what is the accumulation strategy? What are the different retirement focused investment products available in India? Details about that, PPF, EPF, gratuity, leave salary, everything you'll be taught about in detail, so that you become a specialist of that. This is the accumulation part. Then comes the withdrawal strategy. What is bucket strategy? How do you really design? What is the 4% rule? So all that is going to be trained to you, so that you can design a retirement portfolio for a client. Client knows today what kind of a number he is looking for in future, and what kind of a monthly cash flow he can get out of that basis of the strategy that you've designed. Second is tax planning. When it comes to tax planning, friends, it is understanding of all the 5 heads: salary, house, property, capital gains, business profession, and you have other sources. And apart from it, so very detailed. And because the point, friends, what you have to understand is tax is a very essential element across the different points, because when I'm making an investment, I should know what is going to be the tax impact on it during the investment, on the return, as well as during the exit. So that's why it is extremely important. Coming to level 3, friends, it is risk and estate planning specialist. We have 2 modules there: insurance and estate planning. Insurance, friends, we cannot do without it, because insurance provides that kind of downside protection to the wealth. I've seen cases where people had net worth crores, but something bad happened within the family, in terms of a medical issue came in the family, and it was actually very expensive, and that led to a lot of loss of wealth. So downside protection is 4, and the next one, friends, is estate planning. See, assets are built over the years by parents and seniors. But what happens is, if they're not devolved, if they've not settled properly, that could lead to disputes, and nobody wants that. It's a disservice to the family if that happens. So all the ways in which estate planning can be done in India, in terms of setting up private trusts, wills, gifting, other kind of joint tenancies, so all kind of will substitutes, everything is going to be taught to you in depth, because so that you are able to guide the clients the right solution. Now coming to CFP final. Here, friends, we have 2 aspects to it. First is You can do it either or the way you want to do it now. That's the flexibility whereby there's a final exam and there is one financial plan which has to be submitted to the board for approval. So this is the journey, friends, for someone start to end. Moti it takes around an year's time, 10 months to an year's time to complete. People do it much earlier as well if basis of their competence. And this is basically the regular pathway. Now, friends, I mentioned something here as the hard skills. There's a huge value addition to a person in terms of the soft skills. And I'd say essential soft skills over here. Why did I say essential? Because these are required. See, friends, it's very easy. I would say at a relative level, it is much easier to get the skills, which is, you can read concepts. You might read a concept you don't know 1,000 times and you'll be able to understand it. But when it comes to, as I said, client handling, right? These are soft skills which you have to be compulsorily trained on that. And CFP curriculum itself gives you in-depth knowledge on all these aspects. I did my MBA. I never had these things at that moment of time because their focus is not towards client specific. How do you really, because a financial advisor, friends, a consultant is he has to make a relationship. He has to make the client trust on him. Only then the client will execute the strategy with this gentleman is going to, or the women is going to make for them, right? So for that, these essential skill sets, soft skills are required. There is a specific set of standards that we have to follow. There's a rule of conduct rules that we have to follow. There are 40, 50, 60 conduct rules that yes, we cannot do this, that we cannot mix the portfolios, we can't do this. We have to disclose relative, wherever there's a conflict of interest. So the idea is to help the client get trust on us that there is a different league of individuals who are doing the business very differently. Professional responsibility, right? Along with it. Then you have financial DNA. This is going to be taught to you as to how do you really discover what is the real requirement of a client. There's one thing which might be honest, what he is talking about, but there's something else that is looking internally. We help him, guide him to discover that part. Empathetic listening skills. People at times we don't have those skills. You're trained on that as well. There are in the final, you have all these things. Appreciative inquiry. Why to look at something negatively? CFPs always look at things from a positive angle. Yes, there is scope. We can try to do something out of it. We will not give up. We never give up as certified financial planners. And critical thinking is extremely important. You have to get into in-depth, concentrated thinking on how do you get the right strategy, and then only you get solutions to it. So essential soft skills, you will be trained on that, which is unlike in any other professional certification there is. Now, why choose the International College of Financial Planning, friends? Friends, we are part of Bajaj Capital, which is the leading financial services advisory company for more than 60 years now. I think extremely trained in the business over so many years, pioneers in many industry, evolvements and transmissions. Then International College of Financial Planning, friends, we are in this business since 2002. It's been more than 2 decades with us. We have been training candidates in certified financial planner. In fact, friends, the ICFP college was the one pioneer which brought the CFP certification to India from the US. So our parent organization had a very big contribution on bringing the CFP certification to India, and we are very glad of that part. Most experienced and qualified faculties is what we have. I'll show you the next slide of our faculties to get you a sense of it. In fact, friends, our dean, Madam Madhusuna, has been with the as director, with the FPSU board, during 2007 to 9. Highest number of CFP certificates are COFP alumni. We have a record of reaching 100% passing percentage. This, in fact, friends, happened in May 24 as well. So I'll just take you quickly to that 2 slides. Firstly, friends, this is our star faculty. I mentioned to you about Professor Madhusina, our academic dean. Then we have Dinesh Gupta, Ms. Ajay Malhotra, and then we have Shivangi Mittal, Avdesh and Shweta. And together, friends, if I would just like to give you a sense of it, friends, their total professional experience of everybody here, including me, is more than 100 years of professional experience. And out of that, friends, when I talk about the CFP teaching experience is close to around 75 years. Think about it. I mean, that kind of an experience which is being shared in those limited period of time with you, I think it's the best thing that can come out of it. In fact, as I was mentioning, 100% passing percentage. Friends, this happened in May 24 in our risk and estate planning specialist certification, which is level 3. And if you can note, if everybody can just, focus on the screen and see, there's a message from Krishan Mishra, who's the Chief Executive Officer at FPSB India. He says, many congratulations at ICFP team, well done as always. So this is, friends, a recognition of the way we handhold the candidates, we build on them, and we give them the kind of right platform to success. It's in front of you. I don't have to say anything more in here for. Now, these are the industry stalwarts. You find out any guy who is industry very well recognized in India when it comes to personal finance. He is definitely, I'm sure, going to be an alumni of International College of Financial Planning. So that's the kind of an alumni that we have, and we are so glad to have them. Now, coming to study options, friends. At the moment, friends, we used to have our Delhi and Mumbai campuses before COVID, but after COVID, we've gone to the online mode, which is live classes on Zoom. Friends, the classes happen on weekdays, Monday to Friday in the evening, 7:30 to 9:30. And weekend, Saturday, it's going to be evening, Sunday, it's going to be morning. And you will be getting access to the learning management system of ICFP, whereby class recordings are going to be provided. Friends, just to mention to you, we do have an alternate way as well, whereby someone who cannot commit on, coming at a particular time in the session. So there, we have this channel is known as the e-learning channel, whereby we will be giving you access to our learning management system. You get access to pre-recorded sessions from the same faculties, whereby you can go it at your own pace and your convenience. But of course, the hand-holding is the same on both the sides. So there's no difference on that when it comes to actually preparing the candidate to appear for the exam for success. Now, coming to our learning resources, friends, India's most comprehensive CFP study material is provided by ICFP. Friends, we've been the pioneer in writing each and every book in India when it comes to different modules, concept books, workbooks, group projects, guest lectures. As I mentioned to you, preview videos, review videos, online mock tests. You have a series of mock tests that every candidate has to go before he's going to appear for the exams. Doubt clearing sessions happen before every exam. And so that, we are able to, we try to, remove as many gaps as possible and to bring in more confidence to each and every candidate who's with us. Now, coming to the fee part of what is the fee for the Certified Financial Planning Program. Friends, this slide shows the fee which is charged by the Financial Planning Standards Board. The initial registration, friends, which is valid for 1 year, the FPSB board charges 18,000 rupees. And the board also says that, we have any candidate has to compulsorily buy the ebooks from them, but we don't have to buy them all together. It has to go as we move towards the level. So for each level, the ebook fee is 6,500 rupees, and for the CFP final, it is 13,000 rupees. Now, when it comes to exam, as I mentioned that after every level, a candidate should be appearing for the exam. The exam fee for level 1 to level 3 is 6,750. And when it comes to CFP final, it is 13,000 rupees. And as I mentioned to you about the financial plan assessment, which is required in level 4, though there is flexibility when do you want to appear it, before the exam or after the final exam, 10,500 is the fee. So this is, friends, for the regular pathway. Now, as I was mentioning, there is a quicker pathway also, whereby a candidate can safely complete his CFP start to end almost 6 months of time. This is known as the fast track pathway, friends. But the board requires, there's an eligibility requirement in terms of education and experience, friends. In terms of education, if you can see on the right, we have someone who's a professional in terms of a chartered accountant, or he's a CA inter with 3 years of articleship plus BCom. He's a CFA, CPA, ACCA, CMA, MBA in any stream is okay, is acceptable now. He's a CA, IB or plus BCom. So many different professional people can join the certification and join the program and just give the final exam and the financial plan assessment, and they are good to go to get the certification. The fee for this, friends, is the validation fee is 5,000 rupees, wherever the board checks the documentation basically. Then comes the registration plus FPSP content. It is 34,000 rupees. Assessment and final exam fee is similar as we had in regular 10,500 and 13,000 rupees. So the level 1, level 2, level 3 is something that a fast track candidate is allowed not to pay for it. He can straight away move to the final because of his previous experience and eligibility. There's also an experience requirement, as I mentioned, 3 years of experience in the BFSI industry. Now, study fee at International College of Financial Planning, friends. When it comes to the virtual learning, friends, where I said the faculties come in the Zoom, 2-hour sessions are there, where for this, friends, on a level-wise fee, it is total comes to 80,000. But if someone goes for a 4-in-1 CFP study, the fee is we offer you a package of 60,000 rupees, which is a 25% discount on this. When it comes to e-learning, friends, which I mentioned, pre-recorded sessions, access on LMS plus the handholding, the 4-in-1 study fee there is 45,000 rupees. You just have to pay us 10,000. Rest can be fund. We can get you a loan done in 6 easy EMIs in both the cases. The third one, friends, which I mentioned, the fast track pathway, our fee is 35,000 rupees, and where you can just book it by paying 5,000 rupees to us plus the EMI. What is the offer for the day? The offer for the day is a flat 10% discount on the course fee, friends, across virtual e-learning and fast track, whichever way. Yes, you get a 10% discount. Along with it, friends, this is a discount which is on the ICFP. Now, we will also help you with discount coupons when it comes to, I had shown you the slide on the FPSP fee. We will provide you discount coupons of worth 16,250, which you can use to, reduce your expense when it comes to purchase of the e-learning content. So this one, friends, is for the virtual and the e-learning pathways specifically. Along with it, friends, we are providing you NISM 5A e-learning videos for 15 hours, which is costing 5,000 rupees. We are giving it free of cost today to you in this offer, webinar offer basically, and also 7 hours of premium recorded lectures when it comes to how to learn stock market, basically technical side, 5,000 free with the offer today. So in total, friends, in a net, if I want to put it today, if someone joins in the regular pathway, he can save up to 32,500 rupees. So offer is very, very good, friends. You should take a benefit of it. As I mentioned, we can help you arrange 0% interest, free student loan, but you just have to make a down payment to us, either of 10,000 for the virtual or the e-learning, of 5,000 for the fast track pathway. Friends, this is our number 9711437779. You can call up. Our expert counselors are totally capable of replying to all your queries, solving them, and handholding you to join the program. So thank you, Kanaya.